You've transcended dating and you're in a cult that focuses on world liberation and domination. She then says, we're all a similar type of delusional. Basically, we're bonded over being delusional. We cast spells, we do rituals, made a blood pact, including a certain type of blood that I am not going to say. So you can hear her say it, and here it is.
Here, going to arson.
She's back.
I want to touch really quick. You said you've transcended dating and that you're in a cult that's focused on world liberation and domination. We'll talk a lot about, I said we'd talk about it for a little bit. So do you want to tell us a little bit about the cult? And I have some questions I can ask you, but.
Yes, so basically I found this group of girls where we're all like the similar type of delusional, basically. And we've bonded so strongly over it. And
the delusion?
Yes.
You've bonded over the being delusional?
Yes.
Not
and
like other.
We'll have meetings like once a month where we rent an Airbnb. And, you know, of course, cast spells, do rituals. We made a blood pact. Of course.
Did you guys cast any spells about whatever podcast?
We literally casted a spell.
Last night? We did one last night.
Oh, blood magic.
She took her blood.
Yeah.
Her blood. And we did spells with the blood.
Yeah. Guys, I would urge you.
Help me. I'm in the middle. Help me.
Oh.
I would urge you girls to be very careful with what you.
She's trained. She used to take
It's
blood
menstrual blood also.
Ooh. Yeah. You guys are.
I'm sorry.
You might think it's a bit of fun.
What do you
but
do
you're
with
going
it,
into something that's pretty dark there.
I have
doing
so
blood
many
rituals and
stories.
ceremonies.
That's really subjective also.
If you could, do the YouTube stuff real quick, like, comment, subscribe, do all that jazz. Just as a means of support for tolerating this, for taking the time to break this down, because that's what we're going to do. I would like to preface this, though, by saying that I'm fully aware these women, this woman in particular, is not a Christian. She's not a religious person. I fully grasp that. However, the reason I'm doing this is because you do see a lot of Christianity moving towards this new age spirituality, which most people like her, and we're going to get deeper into it because she expands on it. It actually goes in a beautiful direction to kind of show it, is that it's all based in occult practices. It's all based in things similar to like the new age Gnostic gospels and this new age spirituality. So the primary purpose of this is to provide some clarity in terms of what is true or traditional Christianity when put up against these new age spiritual movements, which now Christianity in the modern day is shifting towards. So this is an example of a naive woman who is almost childlike, almost, I mean, I don't want to say immature, but she's pretty immature. She's immature, at least at heart. And she's engaging in things with other naive or immature women. And I say that because they don't understand the gravity of what they're doing. They don't even understand what they're doing. So they certainly don't understand the consequences or the implications of what they're doing, what they're playing with. Who knows also if there is another woman who's not on the panel, because obviously a handful of them are here on the panel right now. There's probably or likely to be a woman who's not on the panel who is kind of the leader of this self-described cult. And she may know exactly what she's doing, in which case she's manipulating the rest of these ignorance girls to participate in occult practices. Now, quickly with the blood pacts thing. They're often associated with positive intentions, positive things. They can also be used for, and their origin is in dark purposes. Things like curses and spells. In some cultures, it is believed that a blood pact can be used to transfer negative energy or to harm somebody through the transfer of negative energy from one person to another. And then casting spells is within the Christian, the true Christian or the traditional Christian context, is explicitly forbidden as far as scripture is concerned. So Deuteronomy 18:11 talks about it, but it warns against things like divination, sorcery, fortune telling even, and then any kind of witchery, casting spells, seances, the whole nine, channeling dead spirits, It covers it. It covers it. And then there are other mentions throughout the Bible of similar things, and it's never in a positive context. So the Bible emphasizes that these types of behaviors, these types of practices go against God. And if you take that to a deeper, more spiritual level, they literally go against God. It's drawing on energy that is the antithesis of God. And why it's important and why they are ignorant to the gravity of what they're doing is because we have, as humans, as spiritual beings at the core of us, we have the ability to make connections with the other side. At least that's what Christians believe. Is that we harness that power to connect to whatever the other realm is, the spiritual realm. So ignorance or malintent result in connections being made to dark spaces that are outside of this reality, which is the opposite of what we should want to do. Now she's going to be asked, do you believe in some sort of spirituality? So let's watch that.
Do you believe in some sort of spirituality? Do you believe that we live in a spiritual world?
I have my own version of a higher power, and that's what because what a cult is like you all believe in the same religion. It's religious because you believe in the same higher power.
It's religious in structure. Yes.
But our higher power isn't like a deity or isn't a god. Our higher power is the bond that we form with one another. Because a higher power can mean like anything to you.
When you say you're doing like bloodletting rituals, do you sort of think about what kind of energy or spirituality you might be tapping into there?
Yeah, of course. It's about a transference of energy. Your blood magic just makes the spell more powerful because you're transferring more of your energy in exchange for whatever you're manifesting.
Where do you think that energy is coming from?
Boom.
To hold power.
There was a syringe. Okay.
She says, our higher power is not a deity or a god. It's the bond that we form with one another. Just the ricochet from historic occult practices is just wild. And she actually makes a comment here that ties to the last point I made from the previous clip. We have the ability to tap into the spiritual realm. The thing is, these new age spiritual practices, without them even knowing it, without the actual person doing it, knowing it, they're drawing from ancient demonic feeds. These practices are ancient demonic practices. They've been given a new look. They've been reintroduced to modern culture to fit the culture. It's the same stuff. Therefore, they're drawing on a demonic energy. The enemy, which in my opinion is just kind of the Christian way of saying evil, the evil side of the spiritual realm or the spiritual world, the enemy has developed through culture a new look, a new feel, a new image. And in my opinion, it isn't just this Hollywood version of demonology and demonism. It's different. It's not the red everything, the stupid horns, what you see in, when people in the media call out, Taylor Swift or any of these other actors or musicians when they're doing demonic things on stage. I don't disagree that that's what that is, but I would push and urge that demonism doesn't have to look like that. The enemy has been ushering in all of these new age spiritual practices, all of the new age spiritual stuff, just in general. They look very hippy dippy. They look kind. They look loving almost. All of this has been brought to the earth, and all of it is about the earth and about being in touch with nature. And it's all very hippy dippy. It's all very hippy dippy, even to the point of like bonds with other humans, which she mentions. These are ancient things. They've just been rewrapped to fit modern day. Now, what people are ignorant to is that these rituals, the practices, they're literally that old. They are actually ancient, and their origin is in sorcery and is in witchcraft, and the Bible does talk about them, which are undeniably demonic things in both practice and in consequence. All right, and this here will be the last clip. This is where it kind of gets interesting, in my opinion, it does.
As somebody who's actually like delved into that, like accidentally, my friend taught me witchcraft, and she also was accidentally learning witchcraft, and someone who has literally suffered demon attacks and become disabled from being attacked. Like they will they'll choke you. They'll like you will.
They got possessed.
No, like they'll
yeah.
attack you. It's like actually like manifestations.
If energy cannot be created or destroyed, you have to think about where the power from that energy that you're tapping into is coming from. It's either going to be a vice or a virtue, and whichever side of that. I wonder if these kind of rituals and interactions, I wonder if they have any like leeway of inviting the wrong kind of like you say, energy into your life. As in, you talk about like the interpersonal issues. If you feel like you're not, finding people that are like you, but the people that you have found like you are encouraging you. It sounds like to do some very scary things. If I can be quite forward, it sounds scary.
That's subjective.
Absolutely,
To
and
me,
she
it
has
sounds like
absolutely no
messing with a
idea
Ouija
what
board.
she's doing.
I would say it's not so much.
But we're not dealing with demons. We're dealing with the
Oh, you
opposite
are.
of demons.
You don't think you are, but you are.
You are.
You are. You just don't know it yet. It's kind
Just don't know it yet. See, this is what I'm talking about. Accidentally, this culture, these young people are being manipulated by humans, but demonic forces they're at the core of it, right? And to enter into these practices of religious structures of demonic authority, that's what it is. And it's on accident in many cases by the actual participant. It's not on purpose for them. It's something they stumble into. That one woman said she went through a very similar thing, and then she saw a lot of the consequences that come from that. The primary girl, though, the woman in question, she even says at the end that she doesn't think she's drawing on demonic energies. I think that's highly debatable. She goes so far as to say we're dealing with the opposite of demons, which insinuates angels of some kind, or spirits of light of some kind, spirits of love and morality. That would be the opposite, right? If we're dealing with, quote unquote, we're dealing with the opposite of demons, it would be those things. And I think it's very unlikely that it's those things. I think it's impossible, but to keep it broad, I think at best, it's very, very unlikely. This would be as counter scripture and also as counter logic to me as it could possibly be. It ties into the self-described delusion, because she started this whole thing by saying, we are a cult. We are bonded by our delusion. The irony of her defending her spiritual beliefs while admitting delusion is heartbreaking. It's painful, and it's nothing against her, because again, I don't think she understands. I think she's being manipulated, probably by somebody who, again, I believe there's somebody, that's not in the actual panel here who's probably calling the shots and who's kind of the leader of their cult. I love, though, that the dog girl comes in, she's the girl with the purple hair and the dog ear headband, who's wearing a collar as well. This episode was very interesting, so I recommend watching it. But the dog girl came in clutch, hard. She came in like a badass and gave a very intelligent rundown of spiritual energy. I loved it. I loved that she was able to express that on the spot like that, in that way, and correct the delusional girl's perception, because that's what it is. So high five to Puppy Girl there. All right, that'll be it for this one. Please remember to do all the YouTube stuff, like, comment, subscribe, all that. My channel gets throttled because of some of the stuff we talk about in the live streams, so I would appreciate that. Let me know what you think about this type of content, though. If you want me to do more of this, if this is not worth my time or your time, your feedback will dictate kind of what direction I go from here, because I do plan on changing things up quite a bit. Do you think these New Age spiritual practices have begun to seep into the Christian church? That's my question. So if you could comment that, I would like to see what the general consensus is. If not, then please explain why. We've discussed this on a lot of our live streams because I believe I have blatant examples of it. But I would like to hear whether that's because I'm very much into this kind of thing. I'm very plugged into these circles. Or if this is actually something that's happening at a larger scale. I'm curious to kind of see. Love y'all.